Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I am going to be going over some matches that I played in the Bren Chong Cup. So basically this is a tournament put on by Bren Chong. The prize pool is $3,000. I'm actually not sure if you get first if you win $3,000 or if $3,000 is split between like first, second, third, and fourth or something like that. I honestly don't even know the prize pool breakout, but it's a decent amount of money, definitely worth the time. And so this is an invitational tournament for pro players. Which basically just means that you're like signed to an org, or I think most of the players in this competition are signed to an org, so it's good competition. They got people from like all over the globe like playing in this tournament. So I got invited to the tournament. I was in one of the groups. I'm in like group G or something like that. Honestly, I don't even know the group. I don't think it's group G. But so in my group there's 12 people, I think. I'll put the exact details up on the screen in post editing. But basically I ended up getting first in my group. And I just want to shout out Dieputs because the first day, so there were 2 qualification days. The first day I went like, I only won 2 and I lost 3 best of 3s. But then the second day, with Dieputs' help, I was able to win 6 in a row, and I only even lost 2 games all day. I won 10, lost 2, and I won 6 best of 3s. So yeah, we're just gonna go over the second day, the day that I did well, because I think the first day, I think I could look back. I don't even know how many games were on stream. I think I played decent, but I think I was just really stressed out, like because I woke up late and I forgot to plan my decks and choose my decks ahead of time. So I don't think I played as well as I could have. But I think the second day I played really well. So I think the games are definitely worth going over, and I can teach you guys kind of what was going through my head. Okay, so I'm only actually going to show 4 matches today, since that's all the matches that Revel Amar had on his stream. But yeah, so the first game we're up against Francito, and I had Lava Hound with Bomb Tower instead of Barbarians, and he just has Lava Hound with, honestly, I don't remember. He has a Lava Hound deck also. So at this point I'm thinking, well, either he has Giant Miner or he has Lava Hound. I know it's either one of those two, but I don't think I thought he was a Giant Miner player, and even if he was, this isn't really that bad of a play. So I just Lava Hound in front to like support the counter pushing Baby Dragon, because I was at 10 elixir and I had a Baby Dragon alive, so I just kind of Lava Hounded in front because like why not at that point? There wasn't really anything he could do that would like be bad for me. And especially in the Lava Hound mirror match, you kind of just want to be the first person to play your Lava Hound in general. And you always want to be like supporting your counter pushing troops with the Lava Hound. So that's just kind of how you play the Lava Hound mirror match. Like, you support your troops, you try not to give too much poison value, you defend for as little elixir as possible, and yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. And just Lava Hound whenever you have it in hand. So here you can see that he kind of went a little bit over aggressive, and he messed up his defense because he let me kill his Inferno Dragon like way too easily. I barely had enough elixir to even get down that snowball, but yeah, I did. And I'm like talking like really delayed in reaction time there. He actually Lava Hounded in the back, and I went same lane with a Bomb Tower, but I was able to, and as you saw, I just poisoned the Night Witch and I was able to defend super easily. So I actually think like Bomb Tower actually kind of helped in this matchup, because the ground troops aren't really doing very much in the Lava Hound mirror match anyway, so the Bomb Tower is like a really solid defense, but it's definitely not what won me the game. What won me the game was to start like the first push, and for the rest of the game, I'm kind of just playing defense here and cycling like smart. So there, I mean, you see we're going Lava Hound same lane. I had Lava Hound in hand when he also Lava Hounded, so we're just kind of mirroring each other at this point. And as long as we're mirroring each other, he's not gonna come out on top. I'm just defending with the Bomb Tower because it's like, why not? You know, it makes sure that his Lava Hound doesn't get any shift damage off on my tower. And at this point, he just, well, yeah, the game's already over, so let's just go to the next one. Okay, so starting off against Francito here, he played the Bandit in the back. So here I instantly am thinking, okay, he has some kind of British fan deck, and I have Lava Hound. So I actually have Lava Loon. So he banned Miner, so I couldn't play Lava Miner, so I decided to play Lava Moon. Not Lava Moon, Lava Loon, because he wouldn't expect that. And since he played the Bandit in the back, I'm willing to tower trade versus Bridge Spam. You kind of have to with Lava Hound. Usually when you tower trade versus them, you're going to have the advantage in like a 2-tower situation. And a lot of the times, they won't even end up taking your tower. You'll end up taking theirs, and yours will survive with a little bit of HP. So with Lava Hound, definitely versus Bridge Spam, it's kind of okay to go. I wouldn't necessarily see a lot of people Lava Hound first play. I wouldn't Lava Hound first play unless you just know their deck. But after they drop a card, it's definitely okay to go Lava Hound same lane. So here, you kind of saw I just defended. I just kind of played it smart. There you see a Lava Hound again. I know he has Bridge Spam, so I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of damage on my tower because I know that in a 2-tower situation, it's looking pretty good for me. So I just eat the damage on my tower. I couldn't really defend it. I would have had to overspend with Barbarians, which would have been too expensive. You never want to over defend when you're playing Lava Hounds. You always want to defend for like the same elixir or less. It's okay to eat the tower damage. So you see, I just looned behind that Lava Hound, and one important thing there is I didn't loon directly behind the Lava Hound. I played it a little bit to the right, and the purpose of that loon was just to basically not get hit by the Magic Archer. So we're looking good here. You can see we tower traded, except for we didn't. He didn't even take my tower. So it's definitely worth it for me. We're even on Elixir. I'm playing a Tombstone first because I don't have Lava Hound in Cycle. To be honest, I probably wouldn't even have Tombstone first if I would have had it in Cycle. So here you see he hasn't necessarily gone all in. If he would go all in, I would defend with Barbarians. You see I use my first Barbarians here. But I'm not going to use Barbarians to defend like a Bandit or a Dark Prince, because that's a negative elixir trade. Instead, I'm going to use an Air Troop. I'm going to save my Barbarians for when you peck us at the bridge, or Battle Rams plus something else at the bridge, or like the Barbarians are going to counter push. You have to understand with Lava Hound, you just have to be willing to eat some damage versus, not versus every deck, but especially versus Bridge Spam, you have to be willing to eat damage. So yeah, I mean, I Lava Hounded in the back. He actually has a little bit of a damage lead on me here. I decided to defend that because it's an equal elixir trade. And I have Barbarians if he goes in the other lane. I wanted him to use a poison on that. So I just Lava Hound in the back again. I know I have Barbarians or anything he attacks me with. The Barbarians just get so much value in this matchup. Like, they're really good. So there he plays Dark Prince at the bridge. I'm willing to play the Barbarians high because they're going same lane here. I had enough elixir. And they're going to counter push, even though it isn't like a positive elixir trade. And double elixir is definitely okay to play the Barbarians. You see, do I get another hit? No, I don't get another hit, but the death damage plus the lava pups take the tower. So pretty good matchup for me, and I won the first best of 3 2-0. Okay, so this next best of 3 is going to actually be up against Morton, who is one of the best players in the game, especially if you looked how he performed in CRL last season. He did amazing. So this is going to be a good match no matter what happened. So starting off the game, I go Miner Wall Breakers. I like to kind of be aggressive with Miner Wall Breakers. A lot of people say that you should like split the Wall Breakers before you miner, which I understand. But I think with this version, if you have the Tornado version, you should definitely split the Wall Breakers. But I'm honestly still not sold if you have the really quick cycle version. If you should just... I feel like going Miner Wall Breakers first play is a good play. It's just like going Hog first play. It kind of pressures them. They can ignore your Wall Breakers, or they can ignore your Miner. But if you put them both together, it's really hard for them to ignore it without just taking a ton of damage on their tower. And it's just harder to defend in general. So at this point, I realize what his deck is. I see that he has a quick cycle Miner. I know he doesn't have a Tornado, so I go Miner not to the safe spot. I try to go to a spot where I don't think he's going to predict. So you saw where I played him Miner there. And here he has a really quick cycle. He actually has a pretty good matchup in this first match. It's like not really a hard counter. It's like a soft counter. I'd say he has like 55-45 advantage in this matchup or something like that. Just like a little bit of matchup advantage. And he's gonna play this smart, so this is gonna be a pretty tough match to win. So there, I just cycle my Valkyrie in the back. You know, I'm just cycling a Magic Archer opposite lane of where he's attacking. It's kind of hard to say. You see, I just go Miner Wall Breakers again. So one key thing here is that I have Tornado in my deck, and he realizes that I have Tornado in my deck. So he's always going to be going Miner to the same spot because he knows my deck. So I can literally predict his Miner every time. That's the only thing that makes this matchup like kind of winnable. So I I don't even know. Like, you would think because I can predict his minor every single time, I'd always win. But the thing is, like, here, he knows that I'm just going to be predicting it every time, so he just starts playing it in the back and switching it up, because otherwise he's just never going to get damage on my tower. I'm just gonna stop his minor every single time. So here, I keep going with minor wall breakers. I would say one thing I maybe could have improved in this match is maybe I should have just... So I have Fireball in my deck also. Maybe instead of playing the wall breakers, I should just be Fireballing. But I was hoping that, you know, he would make a mistake on defense or something like that. So I wouldn't necessarily say that that was a mistake, but it would be like one other option to play this, because it's a minor mirror match. You can't really punish me if I go minor Fireball. But for me, I was just trying to get him to waste a log. Like, it's still like an even elixir trade for me. He still has a log at every single time I go with the wall breakers. So not really like I'm down elixir, but it would be one other way to play this match that I'd kind of have to test out and kind of feel out how it does. But I don't think I really made like any huge mistakes this game. Just like a couple things you could have done differently, but I think it wouldn't have even made a difference. I still would have lost. I just maybe would have lost a little bit faster or a little bit slower. So there you see, he's just kind of starting to poison cycle me. I can't really punish him, and he can't really punish me because both of us have such good defense. So here you see, I just start minor fireballing because I know he can just log my my wall breakers every single time. I think going back to what I was talking about earlier, I think in single elixir, it's good to spend the wall breakers because then you might not have enough elixir to catch the minor. But in double elixir, he's always going to have enough elixir to catch the minor. So it's better to just like fireball instead of wall breakers, because you kind of see he's starting to just spell cycle me now. And I'm just kind of returning with the same thing. That's kind of what you have to do in minor mirror matches. You wouldn't do that in most matchups, but in the minor mirror match, you do that. So here you see, I predicted like so many of his minors, but a couple of them got through. He just poisoned me out, had a quicker cycle, and he ended up getting the win. So well played to Morton. Definitely a good game. I mean, it was close, but I think you saw like he had a tiny bit of a matchup advantage. Neither of us really made any big mistakes, so he just came out like a tiny bit ahead. Okay, so this next game, I was running an Elixir Golem deck. So you can see here, he made the first play with Minor again. At first, I wasn't sure what deck he had, but then once I saw the Night Witch, I was thinking, well, either this is... Well, I mean, you see here, I was thinking either it was Lava or Giant, but then as soon as he plays this Giant, obviously I know exactly what his deck is, because I saw him playing this on ladder. So I kind of figured either this is like the Giant Hunter deck, or this is the Giant Mini P.E.K.K.A deck, and I knew he had triple spell in both of them. But it didn't really change how I play this matchup, but I didn't know what deck he had, like, at this point in the game. So there you can see he has triple spell, so honestly, it could still be Hunter or Mini P.E.K.K.A. I don't even remember what it was right now. So, but you can see I'm kind of just defending. I have Elixir Golem. I'm basically what I want to do with this deck is I just want to kind of stack furnaces, and then not necessarily even stack furnaces. I just want to get like one furnace down and be up for elixir. Like, I want to have a furnace on the field and be at full elixir where he hasn't played a card, and then I'm just going to play the Elixir Golem in the back. You can kind of see that's what I did. I had a furnace up. I did actually use skeleton there just because they're really cheap, and since I go Elixir Golem in the back, he can't like punish me going opposite lane. Not that he would even do that anyway with this deck, but that's just generally kind of how you want to play this deck. You just want to get down a furnace and then Elixir Golem in the back. And then you can also Elixir Golem with like a counter push, but you don't want to be too aggressive with your Elixir Golem. You just want to, kind of play like patient. So you can see I just kind of supported a little bit. I didn't even use a spell. I have a lightning, but I'm not about to lightning a Night Witch in single elixir. In double elixir, I'll do that, but you never want to overcommit in single elixir. So I'm just kind of playing it slow. I've never even played this deck before, but I've just played a lot of decks like this, so I just kind of know like the playstyle of the deck. So here you see he kind of went in with an aggressive Giant, so I figured it was worth it to Elixir Golem in front of it, and it's also double elixir, so I was willing to lightning that. I wouldn't have done that in single elixir, but now there's double elixir, I did it, and I also could tell like just from how I defended that his pushes really weren't that hard to defend. So I knew he wouldn't be able to punish me if I went in with that like aggressive lightning, even though it wasn't necessarily a positive elixir trade for me. I hadn't played this matchup before, but I just had kind of felt it out from like his first couple pushes. So there I get a nice defense. I just stack another furnace, gain down another furnace before he plays the elixir golem. Since all he has is fireball, he always has to overspend to kill the furnace. The only like cheap way he can kill it is with a miner, really. And if he plays miner, I can always catch it with skeletons. So there's really not a good answer for the furnace in his deck. So I'm just going to be playing that furnace every time, and it's going to be giving me like a positive elixir trade every single time I play it. So there you see, I'm just trying to space out my troops so he can't fireball everything. I think earlier in the game, oh, and I get a nice lightning. I think earlier in the game, I actually accidentally played it so that he could fireball the Night Witch and the Hunter at the same time. So that was a bit of a mistake, but it didn't end up mattering that much in the long run. And here you can see it's almost over. I just get off one last defense. He's gonna elixir, or I'm gonna elixir go him with a bridge. At this point, he can't really do anything to stop me. Pretty good matchup. I would say a pretty hard counter on my part. I log, and I think he actually defends this. Yeah, this doesn't even kill the tower. But all I have to do is cycle to a lightning or a log, and I win the game. So that was GG. Nice patient like play on my part, and well played on him. But yeah, pretty good matchup for me. I wish I understood Spanish because, man, when I watch these, or when I rewatch the matches, like sometimes I'm just curious what they say about me. Or what they say about like anyone. Like I literally can't understand anything he says. But hey, I mean, that's my own fault for not paying more attention to Spanish in high school. So in this next game, we're going back to a very similar matchup to the first game. You can see he bans the baby dragon. So I use a deck that doesn't have baby dragon. And he has minor cycle. So he has like the same minor cycle. And I have a really similar minor cycle to the first game. But I don't, or I have the Ice Wizard instead of the Magic Archer. And I have the Rocket instead of the Fireball because he banned Magic Archer, so this is the second best version available. So you can see we're just kind of trading blows. Nothing too crazy. The minor mirror matches they're a lot about micro play. And it's just a lot about like sometimes you can try to juke your opponent with a minor too. But especially here, like you're seeing in the first game, I'm able to catch his miner like every single time with his goblins because if he doesn't miner to the safe spot, then I'm just going to activate the King Tower. So I just play Ice Wizard in the back. I mean, nothing really too fancy like about my plays here. Doesn't really matter which lane I cycle Ice Wizard in. Doesn't really matter too much what lane I cycle the Valkyrie in. Here you can see he did a really high Hunter, which honestly I don't think was the best Hunter, but you kind of saw that I didn't really have an amazing answer in hand. But I decided to just Bomb Tower because I knew it would kill both the Hunter and the Ice Golem, so it's a positive elixir trade for me. And here he actually messed up. This is like the first mistake Morton has made all the best of three. He missed the Ice Golem Kite on the Valkyrie, so he had to actually over-defend that Valkyrie a lot, which put me in a really good position at this point. I waited for the Hunter to lock onto my Ice Wizard. That's an important micro play. And I actually thought he was going to go in the back, so I predicted the back, but he didn't go in the back. Because in the first game, he went in the back, like, on that, at that timestamp or whatever, so close to that timestamp, so I thought he would do it again. Okay, so at this point in the game, he goes with a minor poison. And here, since he was willing to go aggressive with this spell, he has a quicker cycle. I didn't want to be the first one to attack with the spell, but I just decided to rocket the tower instead of over-defend the minor because I knew that rocket... I mean, honestly, I think Rocket's better than Poison in the Minor Mirror match. It just does so much damage, and you can pretty easily catch the Minor. So there, I'm just like, I don't want him to get any damage on my tower, and I honestly just Tornado to keep my cycle going because since he has a cheaper cycle than me, nothing I play is really going to get to his tower. It's all going to be an even elixir trade or a negative elixir trade. So I decided it was more value to defend his Minor, and there you see. Also, it's better to defend his bats than to sacrifice any damage. So here I just go with a minor rocket. And it looks like a super skillless move, and it kind of is, but at the same time, it's just what you have to do. It would have been dumb for me to do anything else. And since I can pretty much catch his minor, my rocket is going to beat his poison damage. Like, all I have to do is make sure that his minor doesn't get a bunch of damage on the tower. And I beat Morton in the best of three. So that was pretty exciting for me. because Morton's one of the best players. And yeah, we're gonna go to the next game now. Okay, so our next best of 3 is gonna be up against Ali. To be honest, I don't really know who this player is. He's like a I don't know if he's technically a semi-pro or a pro, but I know he's not on a CRL team, so I guess I would say that he's a semi-pro, and he's from Argentina. So I probably just don't know who he is because I don't speak Spanish. I don't know. I don't really know what language Argentina. I don't even know what you call them. I don't know what language he speaks though. So yeah, here, what do I have? Okay, I have Elixir Golem. So here I have Elixir Golem is like Lightning, Barb Barrel, Tornado, and he has Lava Hound. So for me, this is a really good matchup. And yeah, I think he played the first play. With this deck, I'm not necessarily wanting to play the first play. That was kind of an interesting Elixir Golem on my part, but it was okay. I think because I had the counter pushing Electro Dragon, playing the E-Drag in front of that would actually give me more value. And if he blocked the E-Drag, like so it didn't hit the Inferno Dragon, with like a Baby Dragon or a Night Witch or something like that, I can always just Tornado, and the Electro Dragon is going to hit the Inferno Dragon. But also, Inferno Dragon doesn't really do that much versus Elixir Golem anyway, so there's not really any reason to Tornado. So I just kind of attack to keep my cycle going. You can see here he plays Lava Hound, so I didn't want to play E-Dragon right away. I'm not even sure if I had in hand. No, I definitely had in hand. But I didn't want E-Dragon to like go too high, so I just played the Goblin Cage first. I played it so that it would pull the Lava Hound, and then I played E-Dragon. He used his poison, so after he used his poison, it was safe for me to play the Magic Archer, so I played the Magic Archer. I wanted to play the Magic Archer right there if he hadn't given me poison value. I just would have Tornadoed. Actually, I think I would poison this deck, not Lightning. I would have just Tornadoed or poisoned, but since he already played the poison, it was definitely worth it to play Magic Archer. So here, I'm playing the Night Witch in the back, just because I reached 10 Elixir, cycling an opposite lane of where he's trying to attack. Because with this deck, the Electro Dragon can get so much value and kill, like, so many support troops, like, all by itself, just with a Tornado, that I don't want to go same lane as him, because then I'm just giving him poison value, when there's really no reason to give him poison value, because the Electro Dragon can just defend fine on its own. There, I think you actually use the defensive poison. So you kind of just see, like, I stacked troops there. I actually missed an Elixir Golem blocking the Baby Dragon, but it doesn't even matter that much. And yeah, I mean, I just pull off this defense. I was defending. I think one key, the most important thing here is a good matchup for me, but it's just that I don't let my Electro Dragon die. He has no big spell to kill my Electro Dragon, so I just have to make sure to not play it too early, because if I play it too early, then it's gonna die and not kill his support troops. So as long as I'm like cycling one card before I cycle the Electro Dragon, and then I'm cycling the Electro Dragon on defense, I'm always gonna be able to defend his push pretty well. And I think here, do I even Tornado? Yeah, you kind of saw earlier in the game, sometimes when the Lava Puffs are gonna get a lot of damage on your tower, like there's another troop, you should definitely Tornado, or you should just Tornado to keep your cycle going. It's not necessarily that big of a deal, but I'm really just kind of responding to his moves. You're seeing a lot on competitive. It's a little bit different than ladder. So on ladder, a lot of times, like, you know your opponent's deck, or you recognize your opponent's deck. Even I would say if you're in the mid arenas of ladder, the safest way to play it is you just play defense and counter push. So you're kind of seeing, like, I play competitive like I would play mid-level ladder. I play top ladder like in a different way, because I know all my opponent's decks, and here I recognize their decks after the first couple moves, but I'm definitely not like gonna start off the game doing something crazy where you might see like a lot of the top ladder players will start a golem in the back, for example, or giants in the back, because they know their opponent's deck. But in competitive, you're just kind of playing defense and counter pushing, and you want to do the same thing like in grand challenges, and you want to do the same thing in mid-level ladder, like not top 200 ladder. Okay, so in game 2 against Ali, he banned the Baby Dragon. So I go back to I think this is the Magic Archer Minor Tornado deck with Fireball. And I actually messed up that Magic Archer there. I should have played it like 2 tiles. I guess from the point of view that we're looking at, I should have played it 2 tiles higher. And it actually is able to like kill the wall breakers all by itself. So it's actually like one micro placement mistake that I made. So here he used his arrows, and I know this is super important to keep track of his cycle. I know he just played Valkyrie. I know he just played arrows. He didn't have Valkyrie back in hand yet. He's what, 1 card away from it? Yeah, so that's just an important move there. I recognize that, so I went minor with the goblins. And there you see I used the magic archer. This time I played a little bit higher from the angle we're looking at it, and it's able to defend the wall breakers completely by itself. So yeah, I just cycled the Valkyrie in the back. I think right here my hand is like tornado, bomb tower. What else would be? Wall breakers? Maybe wall breakers? Yeah. Oh, maybe not wall breakers. Honestly, I'm not really sure. But it was something like that. So Valkyrie was just the best card to cycle there. I cycle it kind of in the middle. That's like a micro placement thing you can do. Because if they play a miner on the tower, whereas the miner decks I like to do that with like a P.E.K.K.A. or a Valkyrie. The Valkyrie or the P.E.K.K.A. or whatever troop it is, if you play it in the middle as opposed to like, or if you play it in the center of the crown tower as opposed to behind the king tower, it's just going to get to that miner quicker, and the miner's going to get less damage on your tower. So there, I'm just defending. I've already got a ton of damage. I got a super nice magic archer. One thing, and he actually has a nice push here. He knew that I had to tornado. That was smart by him, so he played the miner in the back because then I couldn't tornado both the miner and the bats at the same time. You're going to see a lot of good players do stuff like that. And that was just him keeping track of my cycle there. So there I defended with the miner because the only other thing I could have played there was bomb tower. And I just want to be worth it to defend with a bomb tower. I think, yeah, I messed up my goblins there, but not that big of a deal because it wasn't the tower he was going for. There, I actually failed to predict his miner, but he plays it so I can tornado it to the king tower. So I just take the tornado. At this point, I think. Oh, I thought I actually minored his magic archer there, but I didn't minor the magic archer because it wasn't going to hit like my offense. And he played magic archer on the side that, or on my healthy tower, so I'm really not worried if the magic archer gets that much damage on my tower. But I was close to 10 elixir, so I just decided to defend it anyway just to keep my cycle going. Sometimes with a lot of decks you can ignore a little bit of damage to keep your cycle going. See, I get an offensive tornado to get some damage on his tower. Or sometimes you can ignore damage. Like there, that would have been an okay time to ignore his magic archer. But I had to play Valkyrie anyway, and Valkyrie isn't really an offensive card, so I figured it was worth it just to defend there, even though I didn't really care about the damage on that tower. So there you see, this is kind of close actually. I can always cycle my magic archers pretty freely. Okay, I will say one key thing here. You didn't even see me do it like all games, so there's really no reason to. But say you don't have a good answer to the wall breakers. Right there is the best spot to play the bomb tower because it will predict the miner in the safe spot. It will stop the wall breakers, and then it will also kill the miner with like, or the bomber dude will hit the miner. So I'm just kind of miner. Do I fireball there? I actually don't fireball there. I guess I'm playing it safe. This game is actually like low-key close. I play my bomb tower there just to kill the magic archer. You're seeing a lot of things. Like if I was commenting this game live, what I would be talking about right now is just like what he has in hand, because I'm keeping track of everything he has in hand. So I kind of know like what he's gonna do before he even does it. And here, I bomb tower high. Seeing, I do it high intentionally, trying to predict that magic archer kind of, but it doesn't end up mattering. I finish off the tower with a miner, and that was GG to Ollie. Okay, so my next match is gonna be against Luck Dubs, and starting off, I played with like the meta miner mortar Valkyrie deck with goblins. So yeah, we'll just keep that in mind while I go over this game. Yeah, I just had to look over there to make sure I'm playing the right game. Okay, so starting off, we both just miner at the same time. To be honest, I didn't even, like, when you miner at the exact same time, I wasn't really even looking at the screens. I was just listening to the sound effect. And I thought that I didn't realize he minored, so I didn't instantly catch his miner with my goblins. But then I played the goblins on the miner after I saw it. So that's not like a big deal, but just like, you know, just a thing to note, because I definitely should have caught that miner. It actually might have ended up costing me the game here. So that's just like a little bit sloppy on my part. There, I played the mortar, And he did a smart move there. He played the giant opposite lane. I think, did he just skeletons? I think he skeleton snowballed that or something like that. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see. Like, you can't really look at both sides of the screens at the same time. So I defended there. He got a lot of damage off my tower. Just a little bit. It was a little bit sloppy defense on my part. I don't know if that. I don't remember if that mortar was like necessarily good or not. So just a little bit of sloppy defense. Definitely shouldn't have had that much damage taken on me at the start of the game. But now I know I shouldn't really be like mortaring on offense for the rest of the game, because now I know that he has giant, and you don't really want to mortar on offense versus like giant decks unless you have an elixir advantage. So I poisoned that, hoping that the Valkyrie would get hit off on the Night Witch. It doesn't, but it's okay. Here you see I predict his miner with my goblins. I think I also snowball here. Yeah, I had to snowball so that, because that one bat was on my tower, so it was going to get way too much damage on my tower. I actually walk out here with like only 100 damage taken. So if I had played like this for the whole game, I definitely could have won. You can see I can actually defend his minor pushes pretty easily, but I just took like way too much damage off that first push that he did. There are just minor bats. Since he played the Night Witch, I just want to pressure opposite lane a little bit. I play Mortar, and here's an important thing. I played it same lane because I wanted it to draw the Night Witch. That way I didn't have to also waste goblins to pull the Night Witch to the Mortar, or pull the Night Witch to the center. And there you also saw that the Mortar got some damage on the Night Witch, so that meant that the poison killed the Night Witch. So I'm defending for very cheap elixir right there, and it's like giving me a 1 or 2 elixir advantage every time he giant like Night Witches. As long as I catch his miner, he's not going to get a ton of damage on my tower. So here, I think I actually don't even... Yeah, I don't poison, because he didn't, like... Well, the Night Witch was in front of the giant, so there's just really no reason to poison there. But low-key, I would have saved some damage if he didn't. And here you're seeing, man, this game is coming down to the wire. He actually like overcommitted a little bit on the firewall. So here's where I start going really aggressive. Because of that fireball overcommit, I had the elixir advantage, so I'm going offensive mortar again. You really only want to, versus giant, if you realize he has giant, you only want to like offensive mortar when you know that you have the elixir advantage. With this variation, with bait, you can be a little bit more aggressive. But with this variation, you only want to do it when you know you have the elixir advantage. So here I start playing mortars in the middle, because I knew that at this point he's just going to be gianting at the bridge, because otherwise I can just tower race him and probably beat his tower, or kill his tower before he kills my tower. So I'm playing it in the middle, that way it'll shoot the right tower and shoot the left tower at the same time. And you wouldn't do this in single elixir, but this is definitely a move you want to do like to end the game, because yeah, what I was saying about the tower race thing, you just have to kill, at this point you just have to kill his tower before he kills yours. You don't really have to worry about like defending your tower that much. So here he does another fireball, so I'm getting really aggressive. And man, this game was so close, like I almost am surprised I lost. But I think I didn't. Well, yeah, here. Look at that. I defended it perfectly. I actually was like about to take his tower there. So that game was actually even closer than it looked, because the fireball does exactly 201 damage. So the fireball almost didn't even do enough damage to take my tower. I snowballed to predict the miner, and then I blocked it with the Valk, but he got the win, so well played to him. And I think like you can even go back to the start of the game. He started the game, see at the end he got a little bit too aggressive. He wasn't really playing too good. He was just trying to finish off the game. So a little bit sloppy for him at the end, but it was also a little bit sloppy for me at the start. So you can maybe argue I would have lost either way. But yeah, I definitely messed up at the start of that game. Okay, so in this game, Luck Dubs, I think he on the same deck? I don't remember. So I banned Baby Dragon. So I'm using a deck that's like good with Baby Dragon ban. I have Sparky, like Goblin Giant Miner Bait. Some dudes have been using it, and you probably have seen it on TheFatRat if you like ever look at TheFatRat. But yeah, there's some dudes in the top 200 using this deck. So I'm just waiting for his move, because I have Sparky. I have like Sparky, Goblin Giant, Minion Horde in hand, or something like that. So I just wanted to see what he played first. He played the Magic Archer in the back, so I just go Sparky same lane. And one thing here is also versus Magic Archer, you don't want to play like whatever troop you have behind the King Tower, because then the Magic Archer is gonna splash the troop and the King Tower at the same, and the Crown Tower at the same time. Instead, you always want to play your like troop in the corner if you're going same lane as a magic archer. Like you saw there, I played the Sparky all the way on the left wall. So here, I actually have a super good matchup because you're going to see later he doesn't have Zap in his deck. So this is a pretty decent matchup for me. And I would say he actually plays it pretty well. It gets pretty close here. I think the game after this is where you're going to see like the really insane gameplay. But there I'm just attacking. I just kind of counter pushing, like nothing too special has happened here. I've kind of just gone the same lane as him, you know, just Goblin Dried instead of in front of the Sparky. And yeah, so here I intentionally played the Sparky to tank for the Magic Archer, and then I also zap. That move right there, the zap might have been a little bit risky, I would say, if he had zap in his deck. But I actually knew he didn't have Zap in this deck because I saw him playing this deck with Log. So maybe he could have used Zap, but I wasn't really expecting him to have Zap. So I kind of had that like in mind with that defense right there. So I knew I could get away with that. Just zapping the Magic Archer. I knew he wanted to zap my Sparky. So there he actually does. He goes like really aggressive, and he kind of uses his Miner as a zap on my Sparky. He just suicides the Miner. That way he can get some damage on the tower with the Giant, which is actually a pretty smart play on his part, I would say. So I take some damage on my tower, but I just make sure to counter push and get some damage on his tower. And then I think I probably just reset with a Sparky here. Yeah, I cycle to another Sparky. I mean, that's basically what you're doing. You're basically just cycling to another Sparky in this matchup. Just cycling kind of like as many Sparkies as possible. And for him, he doesn't actually really want to go same lane as me. So this is really good for me that I'm going same lane, but then at the same time, it's hard for him to go opposite lane because he doesn't like have a mini P.E.K.K.A. or something like that in his deck. So definitely super good matchup for me, and it was surprisingly close. Like I really got to hand it to him. He played that well. I wouldn't really say I made any like mistakes in that matchup, but he just played it well and made it kind of close. Okay, so this next game is actually the same matchup again. The only difference is he stuck Zap in his deck. So I saw the Miner Skeletons, and I knew I had a little bit of an elixir advantage, and also I was like, I kind of expected him to play the same deck again. So I was just thinking, well, I beat him the first time, even if he has Zap, I think I can still beat him the second time. So there he goes. So this is kind of important. I knew it's safe to go Sparky in the back versus this matchup, since I'd already played it once, because I knew that all he can really punish me with is like Giant Night Witch at the bridge, or Giant Magic Archer at the bridge. So all I have to do if he Magic Archers is I just let the Magic Archer lock onto the tower, and then I Minion Horde behind it. Or if he Night Wishes, I just put the Minion Horde behind the Giant, and it kills a Night Witch. So I wasn't really too worried. And here is super key, because I knew his cycle. I knew his cycle was like Night Witch. He just zapped. I knew his cycle was Night Witch, Giant, Miner, something like that. So he had nothing in hand to kill the bats. So I literally Giant Goblin bats at the bridge at 8 elixir, because I knew first of all, I was either up or even on elixir. I knew he had nothing in hand for the bats, so I just wanted to punish him for that awkward hand. And you see, I ended up getting a ton of damage on his tower, almost took his tower, and he isn't even up elixir. I think he's actually still down elixir. So right there was just a really key like moment of recognizing exactly what his cycle is, and making sure I punished him for that cycle. You're seeing in Clash Royale, like that's really all it is. All it is recognizing your opponent's cycle, what they have in hand, and making sure to punish it. And then learning decks and matchups, just learning how each deck like punishes bad hands, and how to just keep your rotation like going in a smart way that you're not getting negative elixir trades. So here he double defends his Magic Archer with bats and skeletons, and I was actually like really surprised as Magic Archer survived here, because I zapped like really quickly, but somehow with that defense and like the Night Witch also, it survived. So here I was low-key like pretty scared. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I was just trying to space out my troops so he couldn't zap everything. And I think he actually zapped the wrong thing. He zapped the bats when he probably should have zapped the Sparky, so he actually might have taken my tower there. But yeah, he plays Magic Archer there. It's not enough to finish off the tower. And I was able to win the game. So kind of, honestly, like super well played to him. Like I'm not just saying that, like actually he played those games pretty well. I think I think he maybe made like a couple mistakes in this last game, like a couple small things. Like especially the first 2 games, he played them really smart. So GG to Luck Doves, but I ended up barely getting away with the win on that one. So thank you guys for watching. To be honest, I actually wanted to show like my game against, I think it was Danny. I think it was actually a pretty good game, but I played a bunch of ladder battles and I forgot to record before I played the ladder battles, so I lost those replays. So we're just going to end the video here. I showed the 4 matches, or 4 out of 6 of the matches from the last day, all the matches that were on stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my commentary. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more pro content. I do a lot of ladder videos and I kind of throw some other stuff in the mix. And that's going to be it. Vulkan out.